And open. Another door. Wrong sword. Oh, it's over here. Nothing. This is where I came from. Ah.
Anyone ever tell you you have a lovely eye? No?
Wow. And they're dead. Okay, that's that.
Can't we just agree to disagree?
No more enemies.
No?
All dead. Great.
Puzzle.
Oh
You
no,
love puzzles.
I hate puzzles.
Couldn't figure them out. On the other hand, if there was a puzzle, it was probably meant to keep people away from something good.
I got another wrong sword. Now I need ice sword, fire sword, and whatever the third one is. Nothing.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Treasure chest. More minerals. Health, health, health. Altar. What can I get? Nothing. Could get dash.
It was starting to come back to him.
I'm gonna need it.
Something you never completely forgot. Like how to freeze time when attacking. The more he fought, the more he'd probably remember.
Oh, what's this?
There it was. Skyripper's armature. The stuff that dreams are made of. Engineers' dreams, anyway. The device was intricate. No one alive had the skill to make a thing like it. How was it part of a weapon at all? He'd have to ask a scientist. But first, he'd get the second piece. Skyripper had a heart. A core that had come to rest on the next island. Well, there was another island he could reach. Zenobia had just invaded it with her father's Raven battalions. She must be encamped there still. But fighting
Nope,
Zenobia
I'm
now,
going for the sword.
that made no sense at all. He'd already sacrificed one friend to get this armature, was it? He didn't need to hurry to face her. She would find him. That was a no-brainer. He'd sacrificed his old friend Lapino to get the armature. And the armature was useless by itself, only a series of coils and wheels. War demanded sacrifices, and he would make more before the end. He would have to choose the greatest good, no matter
I'm
how
going
much
for
it
the
cost
bad
him.
end or what?
Zenobia. Well, he would see her sooner or later, across a battlefield or a sword's point before all this was over. He was sure of that. The power was in the core. Obviously,
Yeah, let's get the core.
he had to get the core. Doubt sunk in before he was even out of sight of the Farfarer. Why had he chosen the Sky Ripper? It was the sort of path he'd always avoided. The path of responsibility, of seriousness. Had he grown up? He didn't feel grown up. He'd made this decision from his gut, like he always did. Somehow, he'd impulsively decided to stop being impulsive. Did that make any sense?
No.
I wonder what I could make with all these sword crafting materials, thought Fernando.
Probably more swords. No, I can't save the game. Probably need more resins to make ice sword. What's that? Yeah. Jump down. Not yet. Okay, let's jump down. I'll probably be able to get back to that last dungeon
There was something sour in the air.
at some point.
Like the earth had ruptured over something that had been fermenting for a very long time. Where did that go to?
Yeah.
There were fewer and fewer trees. There were only these huge crystalline growths. Had those been here before? He no longer heard birds except for the feverish cawing of the ravens when they attacked. He couldn't smell the small animals of the forest, the mice and rabbits. Where had they gone? And he was getting hungry too. This was an unhealthy place to be.
So far the fights are really boring as well.
Ronaldo felt like he was ready to learn new things. Thank goodness he didn't have to go to school for that.
Yeah. Run faster. On bet. Oh, good. Probably gonna need that counter damage. All dead. Great. So this
The
is the core.
20-sided core made him feel physically sick. Once he had sneaked into a temple of the dark arts, and he hadn't liked what he smelt and saw there. This felt like that. As quick as he could, he wrangled the icosahedron into the armature. The wheels began to spin, then glow. The sick feeling quickly spun away. Now he only felt sad. He had lost good friends for this war apparatus. He carried his prize back to the Farfarer. Now he had to make his next move. There was a key Imperial outpost on the Nexus. If this really was some sort of super weapon, he could use it to wreak havoc on the enemy. And if it wasn't, well, better to know that before the final battle. But maybe he should show it to some scientists first. There was an observatory on the Nexus. Maybe he should go there before he fired it.
Yeah, let's talk to the scientists.
Well, of course. If you've just assembled a weapon out of legend that can exile gods from the world, you'd want to have a scientist or two look at it. And even if they disagreed and he had time, he could ask Calaveras himself. Yes, the observatory would be his objective. Why had the parts of the Sky Ripper only surfaced now, thousands of years after the Transcendent Emperor had dismantled it? The mad Emperor Isengrim had performed terrible, bloodthirsty rituals to invoke the lost gods. Was that why these ancient artifacts were rising out of the ground? How perfect, then, that the Sky Ripper would reappear to be his destruction.
Okay, that's it for now. Maybe I'll continue the games, maybe I won't. I have no idea. It's pretty boring. See you later.